It's a good question, actually. All right, Bob Smithies. Do the billionaire men use expensive prostitutes, and where do they get them from? Okay, first of all, they're not called prostitutes when they're high class. They are called escorts. Okay, so where do they use escorts, and where do they get them from? Yes, they do. Obviously, not all of them. Some of them are married. There's the ones who are not married. Some use escort agencies. I know of one owner who met his wife through an agency, one of these agencies. So he used the agency. They sent out this woman who was a model, and he obviously liked her and used her on a number of occasions, and eventually he started to have a proper relationship with it, and they got married. So if you look at some of the videos I've done in the past about Luna, for instance, and that divorce settlement, you might understand a little bit more why they do this. But some yacht owners actually have relationships with women, and they have a contract drawn up. So the woman basically gets a salary, and so they have a relationship, but she's paid a salary every month. So let's say she gets paid 20,000 euros a month, and it's written into a contract. And in that contract, she has to, the agreement is that she has to be available whenever he wants to get together. And she needs to perform professionally whenever he wants, or so many times per week or per day, or depending on what the contract says. But basically, the woman has this contract written up. She gets very well looked after in the sense of remuneration, should I say? And yeah, they have a contract, and this is to avoid, getting into a relationship where he has to have lawyers involved and trying to do divorce settlements or common, because in European countries you have a common law wife system where if you live together with someone for 2 years, then that woman can actually get a divorce settlement just like they were married. So to avoid these kind of things, the owners have these contracts written up, and the people sign it. And then the contracts are generally a 1 year or 2 year contracts. And at the end of those contracts, sometimes the owners, they move on, and they get a new woman in with a different contract, or with a new contract, and the other woman is dispatched, and they get a new woman in, and they start all over. So this is the way they work to protect their money. How do the crew deal with this when the owner has these women on board? Because sometimes the owner will bring on other women when the woman that's in the contract is not on board, and it creates a bit of a problem for the crew. How do they refer to the people, especially when they're talking on the radio? Like if the woman goes ashore shopping, for instance, and the crew need to go and pick her up, then they need to refer to them on the radio. So they generally have ways to get around that. For instance, some vessels use a code for it. Some boats, they use the initials of the people. So BW needs to go somewhere or something like that. So owner's girlfriend is on board. She's gone shopping. She's getting picked up or she's getting dropped off. The crew are on the radio. Maybe there's a new crew member, doesn't know the name, only heard one name being used, calls out the wrong name. Now the owner's girlfriend is like, who's this person that you're talking about? So only initials will be used, or the code will be used, so the crew don't get anyone into trouble or get themselves into trouble. There have been situations where the girlfriend has been on her way out. Well, obviously she doesn't know that, and she wants to stay, of course, because she's dating this guy who's a billionaire. She's been getting 10, 20, 30,000 euros a month for the last 2 years, plus a credit card, so she can go shopping and buy whatever she wants. You know, so unsurprisingly, she wants to keep those things going. So she becomes very concentrated on trying to convince the owner to maybe give her a new contract. But he's already moving on, so he's already got other people coming on board, etc. So yeah, so it can get a little bit tricky for the crew, and they have to be discreet, and they have to be professional about it and just get on with it. It's a job to them at the end of the day. But yeah, it can happen where things can get a little bit ugly on board, and that's part of the yachting, what we have to deal with in the yachting industry.